If you're a parent, you totally know the feeling. You hand your kid a tablet, and suddenly you're trying to navigate this whole digital universe you didn't grow up in. It can honestly feel like a maze. But don't worry, today we're going to give you the map to guide you right through it.
Have you ever felt that little wave of panic watching your child just glued to a screen? You're wondering what they're seeing, who they're talking to, and if it's all just too much? Well, if that's you, you are so not alone. It's pretty much a universal challenge for parents these days.
You know, so often we get stuck between two extremes. On one side, you've got digital panic, that urge to just lock every device in a closet because it feels like it's ruining childhood. And then on the other side, there's digital surrender, that feeling that, hey, everyone's online, what can I possibly do? But here's the thing, neither of those approaches actually works.
But what if there was a middle path? A calm, structured approach that takes you from feeling confused to feeling confident. Well, that's exactly the path we're going to map out today. A simple, evidence-informed roadmap for your family.
So here's how we're going to do it. We've broken it all down into 3 core pillars: safety, health, and governance. We're going to walk through each one, and by the end, you'll have a really clear framework to create your family's own digital roadmap.
So let's talk about the goal here. What are we actually trying to achieve? It's not about total control, and it's definitely not about total freedom either. The real goal is what we call guided digital autonomy. It's kind of like teaching your kid to ride a bike, right? You don't just shove them out into the street by themselves, but you also don't hold on to the handlebars forever. You run alongside them, you offer support, until they're ready to pedal on their own. And this is exactly where our 3 pillars come in. I want you to think of them like the legs of a stool. You need all 3 for it to be stable. Safety is all about protecting them from immediate online risks. Health is about looking after their long-term well-being. And governance? That's about creating the structure at home that makes the other 2 possible. They all work together. Okay, so let's dive into the first leg of our stool, digital safety. This is the foundation, and it's all about being proactive and teaching our kids the essential rules of the road for the digital world. A really great place to start is the share with care principle. The conversation is actually pretty simple. What's okay to share online, and what do we always keep private? Sharing hobbies or creative ideas? Awesome. But personal details like a full name, home address, or the name of their school? Nope. Those are things we keep locked down, because that's information that could be used to find them in the real world.
Of course, safety isn't just about data. It's about how people treat each other. And cyberbullying is a huge concern. Unlike playground bullying, this can follow a kid home right into their bedroom, 24/7. Plus, it can feel so permanent and be seen by so many people. That's why teaching kindness online is an absolutely core safety skill.
And if it does happen, we need to have a clear plan ready to go. These 3 steps are vital. First, save the evidence. A screenshot is proof. Second, use the tools that are right there on the platform. Block the person and report the content. But the most important step is number 3, talk it out. Tell an adult you trust right away, because nothing can replace the feeling of being heard and supported. And finally, for safety, we've got to teach our kids to have their radar up for fakes. The internet is full of scams and phishing attempts. That's when someone tries to trick you into giving up your passwords or personal info. The golden rules here are so simple. If it seems way too good to be true, it is. And if you're ever unsure, just ask a grown-up. Trust your gut.
All right, so once we've got that foundation of safety in place, we can move on to our second pillar, digital health. This is about the bigger picture, how all this tech is affecting our kids' mental and physical well-being, and how we can find a healthier balance. This chart right here shows the trade-off perfectly. A day only has 24 hours. So when screen time balloons to something like 8 hours a day, which some studies show it does for teens, that time has to come from somewhere else. And where does it come from? Usually, it's sleep, physical activity, and actual face-to-face time with family. All things that are absolutely critical for their development.
And this is just brilliant, because it shows that not all screen time is the same. There is a huge difference between passive scrolling, just mindlessly flicking through feeds, which research links to higher anxiety, and active use. Active use is when they're creating something cool, like digital art, learning to code, or genuinely connecting with friends and family on a video call. Now, a really big part of digital health is body image. This one is tough. According to a recent national poll, a staggering 2/3 of parents say their child is insecure about how they look. And social media, with all its filters and curated perfection, can be like pouring gasoline on that fire.
So what do? How do we build up their resilience? We can start by shifting the conversation. As parents, we can model a really powerful message. Our bodies are amazing because of what they can do. They can run, jump, create, think, not just because of how they look. That simple shift can help build an inner strength that makes them less vulnerable to all those outside pressures.
And that brings us to our third and final pillar, the one that ties it all together, digital governance. This is the how-to. It's all about creating a clear, collaborative, and fair tech plan for your home.
I know, this can feel like the most overwhelming part. I mean, trying to set rules for a tech world that's changing all the time, where do you even begin? The key is to stop thinking about it as just a list of rules and punishments and start thinking of it as a collaborative family media plan.
And here's the absolute most crucial part. It has to be a conversation, not a lecture. Just think about it for a second. Are you more likely to respect a rule that was just handed down to you from on high, or one that you actually had a say in creating? It's the exact same for our kids. When they're part of the process, they get the why behind the rules, and that builds real buy-in.
And this plan can't be set in stone. It has to grow with your kids. So for younger kids, the goal might be direct protection, like no devices in bedrooms at night to make sure they're getting enough sleep. For early teens, it starts to shift toward media literacy, like having them ask permission before downloading new apps. And then for older teens, the focus becomes building trust through open and honest check-ins about their online life.
So, what actually goes into this plan? Well, here are the essentials. You want to agree on screen-free zones, like the dinner table. Set time limits that might be different for weekdays and weekends. Have clear guidelines for downloading apps. Reiterate the rules for online kindness, and agree on fair consequences if the rules are broken. Writing it down makes it a real contract for everyone.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground here, moving through safety, health, and governance. So now, let's bring it all together into your family's digital roadmap and get you from a place of anxiety to a place of action. So here are your key takeaways. For safety, the most important thing you can do is have open conversations. For health, it's all about modeling a balanced life and focusing on well-being. And for governance, it's about co-creating that flexible family plan. If you remember nothing else from today, remember these 3 actions.
Look, this isn't about solving everything overnight. It's an ongoing journey. So we want to leave you with this one question. Based on everything we've talked about, what is the one conversation you will start with your family this week? Because that first small step is always the most important one.